the small-town boy with big dreams. Now Franklyn Rose has $87 million in his bank account. He owns a dream house, nice cars, and good clothes. But Franklyn has a secret he never told anyone, not even his 18 million followers. Today, he wants to share it with you. This is the real Franklyn Rose story. From humble beginnings to worldwide fame, his journey is one that will touch your heart and maybe even change how you see yourself. Welcome to my home. I still can't believe I live here. 5 years ago I was sleeping on my friends' couches and making videos on a laptop that kept breaking down. Now, well, come see for yourself. Franklyn greets me with a warm hug. He's wearing simple clothes, jeans and a light blue sweater. Nothing fancy. That's the first surprise about him. Even with his millions, he seems normal, friendly. As we walk into his Malibu home, I notice how his eyes light up when he talks about the house. This place isn't just about showing off, he tells me. It's about finally having a space where I can be me. Being himself wasn't always easy for Franklyn. Growing up in a small town in the Midwest, he felt different from a young age. Kids can be mean when you don't fit in, he says as we sit in his living room. The room is nice but comfy. Big windows show the ocean view. Art from LGBTQ+ artists hangs on the walls. I was bullied a lot. I tried so hard to be what everyone wanted. It was very tiring. His parents didn't understand him either. His dad wanted him to play sports. His mom worried about how people treated him. They loved me, but they didn't know how to help me. Franklyn explains, they were scared for me. That fear came out in ways that hurt sometimes. He remembers hiding in his room after school, making little videos no one would see. Those quiet moments of creativity became his escape. Even then, I think I knew that making videos would save me somehow. When Franklyn left home at 18, he had $207 in his pocket and a dream to make videos. I slept in my car for the first month in LA, he says. I worked 3 jobs and made videos at night. No one watched them at first, not a single person. He laughs now, but I can see the memory still hurts. Those early days tested him in ways he never expected. I ate ramen noodles for weeks straight. I showered at the gym. But I never thought about giving up. Not even once. For 6 years Franklyn tried to be what he thought viewers wanted. He made trendy videos, copied other popular creators, and hid his true self. I was afraid if people knew I was gay they wouldn't watch, he admits. So I made up this fake version of myself, someone I thought people would like more. The turning point came after one of his videos got 1 million views. It should have been the happiest day of my career, Franklyn says. But I felt empty inside, because the person they were watching wasn't really me. I went home that night and cried for hours. The next day he recorded a different kind of video, one where he came out and shared his real story. I was shaking so badly I could barely press upload, he remembered. I thought my career was over. Instead, that video changed everything. Millions watched it. Comments came in from people who felt seen for the first time. Brands started calling. Being my true self was what people connected with all along. He saved every encouraging comment from that day. Each one felt like someone helping me stand up after years of being pushed down. As we walk through his kitchen, a big space with nice tools and machines, Franklyn tells me how his life changed almost overnight. I went from barely paying rent to having more money than I knew what to do with, he says. But the best part wasn't the money. It was the weight lifted off my shoulders. I could finally breathe. The first thing he bought wasn't for himself. It was a plane ticket to visit his parents and talk face to face. That visit began the healing of old wounds and misunderstandings. Franklyn has been learning to cook recently. Growing up poor means you never waste food, he explains, as he shows me his fridge. I have a cook who comes 3 times a week, but I'm learning to make my mom's recipes. Those connect me to home. Family is clearly important to Franklyn. Pictures of his parents, sister and nieces sit on shelves throughout the house. My coming out was hard on them at first, he admits. Small towns can be tough places. People said mean things to my parents at church, but they stood by me. Now my dad brags about me to everyone. He smiles at a photo of his father proudly wearing a rainbow pin. We head to his garage, where 5 cars sit in perfect shape. This Tesla was my first big buy, he says, showing a sleek black car. But it's the old Mustang nearby that makes his eyes water. This is just like the car my dad had when I was little, Franklyn explains. He sold it to pay for my sister's hospital bills when she got sick. Finding one just like it and giving it back to him. That felt better than anything I've bought from myself. Franklyn isn't just about fancy car. 3 times a week he drives a regular Honda to help out at an LGBTQ+ youth center. These kids remind me of myself, he says. Scared, different, not sure if they belong anywhere. I tell them my story so they know it gets better. His Rose Foundation has helped over 5,000 young people with housing, school, and mental health services. Money means nothing if you're not helping others, he says firmly. I remember what it felt like to have no one who understood. No kid should feel that alone. Back inside, Franklyn shows me his home gym and wellness area. I got really sick in 2023, he says as we look at his workout equipment. Total burnout, couldn't get out of bed for weeks. Success came so fast that I didn't know how to handle it. Now mental health is his main focus. He meditates daily, works with a therapist twice a week, and takes time off regularly. No amount of money matters if you're too unhappy to enjoy it. In his bedroom, a calm space with simple furniture, Franklyn shows me something he's never shared before. A small journal sits by his bed. I wrote in this the night before I came out online, he says, voice soft. Want to hear what it says? He reads, Dear future me, I'm very scared right now. If you're reading this and everything went wrong, if people hate you, if your career is over, please know that being honest was still the right choice. And if by some chance people accept you, promise you'll help other kids like us. Promise you'll make it easier for them. Franklyn looks up with tears in his eyes. I never thought it would work out like this, he says, pointing around his beautiful home. The houses and cars are nice, but the real gift is being able to help others find their voice. His closet is nice but not what I expected. While there are some expensive pieces, many clothes are from regular stores. I still shop at the same places I did before, he laughs. Old habits die hard. His favorite item isn't expensive. It's a sweater his mom knitted for him after he came out. She put a tiny rainbow on the sleeve, he says, showing me the small, colorful stitches. It was her way of saying she accepted me. As we walk through his home office, where he still films most of his videos, Franklyn explains how he handles his money. I have $87 million now, but I live on just 5% of what I make, he says. The rest goes to investments, my foundation, and helping my family. He keeps his team small, just 7 people who've been with him since the beginning. Loyalty matters more than anything. One wall of his office is covered with framed screenshots of his most meaningful comments from viewers. These remind me why I do this, he says, pointing to messages from kids who found hope in his story. For fun, Franklyn has a movie room with comfy seats, and a game area with both old and new video games. Growing up, we couldn't afford games, he says. Now I have all the ones I wanted as a kid. My nieces and nephews love coming over to play. He hosts movie nights for friends from before he was famous. They treat me exactly the same as they always did. That keeps me grounded. These friends don't hesitate to call him out if they think fame is changing him. That's how I know they're real friends, he laughs. They're not afraid to tell me when I'm being a jerk. As evening comes, we sit by his pool watching the sunset. People think having money fixes all your problems, Franklyn says thoughtfully. It fixes some things. I don't worry about rent or food or helping my parents retire. But money can't make people accept you. It can't heal your heart when you've spent years hiding who you are. He pauses, watching the colors change in the sky. I had to do that healing myself. All the money in the world couldn't buy self-acceptance. Franklyn's success comes from many places. His YouTube channel, his Authentically You lifestyle brand, a skincare line, and smart investments. But he's most proud of his children's book series about a boy who feels different, but finds his place in the world. Those books are in schools now, he says with pride. Kids read them and feel less alone. That's worth more than all the houses and cars. The first book in the series was based on his own childhood, and writing it helped him process some of his hardest memory. The most striking thing about Franklyn is his kindness. Throughout our day, he knows every staff member's name. He asks about their families. When a gardener's son is mentioned, Franklyn brightens up. He just got into college, right? First in his family. The gardener nods proudly. Later I learned that Franklyn is quietly paying for the boys' school. Success is about lifting others as you climb, Franklyn tells me as our day ends. I have this platform now. I can either use it to show off things, or I can use it to make a difference. I try to do both. People watch for the fancy stuff, but they stay for the message. That message is clear. Be yourself, even when it's scary. The most valuable thing in this house isn't the art or the cars, Franklyn says as we finish our tour. It's my peace of mind. It's waking up and not having to pretend anymore. Before I leave, Franklyn shows me one more spot, a simple bench at the edge of his property looking out at the ocean. This looks just like the park bench I slept on when I first came to LA and ran out of money, he explained. I sit here every morning to remember where I came from, to stay thankful. As the sun sets over the ocean, Franklyn shares his hope for people watching. If you're hiding who you are because you're scared of being rejected, please hear me. The right people will love the real you, and those who don't, they were never meant to be in your life anyway. His final thought stays with me long after I leave his beautiful home. The real richness in life isn't what you own, it's being free to be who you are. It took me 27 years and a lot of pain to learn that. If sharing my story helps even one person find that freedom sooner, then all of this, he points to his mansion, has a purpose beyond just making me comfortable. 5 years ago, Franklyn Rose was filming videos in a tiny apartment with borrowed equipment. Today he has $87 million, making him one of the most successful online creators in the world. But what stands out isn't his wealth, it's his heart. The boy who once hid his true self, now stands proudly as a role model for millions. His journey from shame to self-acceptance has inspired countless fans to embrace their own truth. The messages I get from kids who found courage through my story, that's the real reward, he told me as we ended our day together. Despite his fame and fortune, Franklyn remains down to earth. The small town values his parents taught him. Honesty, hard work, helping others, guide everything he does. His huge success hasn't changed who he is. It's simply given him a bigger platform to be himself and help others do the same. In a world where many online stars show off empty luxury, Franklyn Rose offers something more valuable: realness. His story reminds us that our truest self is our greatest asset, and that courage to be that person is worth more than any mansion or sports car. As Franklyn says, I'm not special because I'm rich, I'm special because I'm me, and you're special because you're you. That's the message I want everyone to remember. When I first met Franklyn Rose, he was making videos no one watched. Now millions follow his every post. But the real story isn't his rise to fame, it's how he found the courage to be himself. In his beautiful Malibu home, with all the trappings of success around him, Franklyn still cares most about one thing: helping others find the freedom he fought so hard for. Growing up different in a small Midwest town wasn't easy. Kids bullied him. Parents didn't understand. Franklyn learned to hide the parts of himself that didn't fit in. That habit followed him to Los Angeles, where he spent 6 years making videos as someone he was. Even as his following grew, his happiness shrank. The breaking point came after his biggest video yet. Instead of joy, he felt only emptiness. That night changed everything. Tired of living a lie, Franklyn recorded a video revealing his true self. Terrified but determined, he shared his story with the world. To his surprise, people didn't turn away. They drew closer. His honesty touched something in them, something real. Suddenly, the career he thought might end was just beginning. Today, Franklyn uses his platform to speak for those who can't yet speak for themselves. His foundation helps LGBTQ+ youth find housing, education and support. His children's books reach kids who feel different, showing them they're not alone. Even his luxury lifestyle serves a purpose. It shows his young fans that they can succeed without hiding who they are. What makes Franklyn special isn't his wealth or fame, it's his commitment to truth, even when that truth was scary. It's his kindness to everyone from staff to fan. It's his understanding that success means nothing if you're not lifting others as you rise. In a world full of fake images and filtered reality, Franklyn Rose offers something rare: honest humanity. His journey from shame to pride, from hiding to visibility, reminds us all that our uniqueness isn't something to fix, it's something to celebrate. As the sun sets on my day with Franklyn, I'm struck by how different he is from other celebrities I've met. There's no wall between his public and private self. There's no script he's following. There's just a man who took 27 years to learn what he now tells others every day. The most valuable thing in life is the freedom to be exactly who you are. That freedom didn't come easily. It cost him relationships, security, and years of pain. But sitting in his dream home, helping others find their way, Franklyn knows it was worth every tear. We get one life, he tells me as I leave. Why waste it being anyone other than ourselves? 5 years from now, Franklyn's bank account might be even bigger, his house might be even fancier, but none of that matters to him as much as the messages he gets daily from young people finding their courage. That's the real wealth, he says. Eyes shine, knowing you helped someone else stand a little taller in their truth. In a world that often rewards fakeness, Franklyn Rose dared to be real, and in doing so he found not just success, but something far more precious: peace. His story isn't just about a boy who got rich making video, it's about a human being who discovered that the path to true happiness isn't paved with money or fame, it's paved with authenticity. As I drive away from his beautiful home, I think about all the people watching Franklyn's videos, dreaming of his lifestyle. I hope they see beyond the mansion and the cars. I hope they hear the real message he's sharing. Your uniqueness is your strength, your truth is your power, and no amount of hiding will ever bring the joy that comes from simply being yourself. Franklyn Rose may have $87 million, but his greatest possession is one available to us all: the freedom to live honestly. In the end, that's the real story behind the views and followers and brand deals. That's the lesson worth far more than any fortune. That's the legacy Franklyn hopes to leave, not as a wealthy internet star, but as someone who helped others find their way home to themselves. I think about my own journey as I drive down the Pacific Coast Highway. Like many of us, I've had moments of hiding parts of myself to fit in. Talking with Franklyn reminds me how much energy that takes, and how much joy we miss when we're busy pretending. His story invites us all to ask, what might happen if we stopped hiding? What gifts might we share with the world if we weren't afraid to be seen? As the sun dips below the horizon, I realize that Franklyn's true gift isn't his content or his foundation, or even his children's books. It's the permission he gives others to be themselves. In a world that so often tells us to conform, to blend in, to smooth our rough edges, Franklyn stands as proof that our differences aren't weaknesses, they're superpowers. Perhaps that's why millions follow him so close. Beyond the lifestyle and luxury, they see someone who fought the battle many of them are fighting, and won.
His victory gives them hope for their own. His journey from hiding to living openly shows a path forward. His success proves that authenticity isn't just personally fulfilling, it can be professionally rewarding too. Tomorrow, Franklyn will wake up in his beautiful home. He'll make a video that millions will watch. He'll check in on his foundation's work, but his greatest achievement won't be in any of those things. It will be in the young person somewhere who watches him and thinks, if Franklyn can be himself, maybe I can too. That's the real story of Franklyn Rose. Not just how he changed his own life, but how he's changing others' lives by showing them a different way to